We are back at Grand Rapids, and Brian Simo, well, you can see the margin there as he works through some of the twistier bits. You don't even see that battle. There it comes with Gentilozzi in the game behind him. But Simo is now going to start to be closing in on some traffic, and we have seen that that can play a huge role in it. There's Gentilozzi chased by Lewis and Miller, and Gentilozzi continues to struggle with the setup on that car, and Connie Willis is with the crew chief, Mark Strickland.
Yeah, Mark, Gentilozzi is just ready to head up front now. He is really going. Do you think it's the tires?
Everybody's tires are pretty tired right now. Paul's rears were pretty slow to come back after the restart. Made the car real loose. He didn't want to hold Johnny Miller up, so he let him by. Then everything started to come right, so we'll see what happens.
Are you going to take Simo by the end of the race here? Is he going to do it for the crowd by taking Simo by the end of the race?
Well, we'll have to see what happens here.
Dorsey, as you mentioned, obviously, Paul, a lot of experience, and he has gone this route before when a car hasn't been quite right, and he knows what to do inside the car if he can. But look at Lewis. Oh, what a run. Here he comes.
Into turn one. This is the brake zone. Oh,
and did Paul squeeze him? And look at this.
Slammed the door on him. He's locked the tires up. Paul's locked up right now.
Oh, contact there between Miller and Lewis as well.
Lewis spun. Johnny Miller goes on, and Gentilozzi was in full lockup. We'll see that again, I'm sure. But he was completely locked up. That's what all the smoke was right there. And he's got a flat left rear tire. His day is done.
Gentilozzi's tire is done. And it is right down now to the rim. He is, that's unbelievable. And he took Lewis so far to that wall. I wonder if he cut something on debris.
No, they hit side to side. I bet you he's knocked the valve stem sticks out, and I think he knocked the valve stem off when they made contact. We didn't see it, but I'm sure that's what's happened. That tire is shot.
Let's take a look at what happened in replay from the turn one camera coming at you. And there is Gentilozzi. You see the run that Lewis makes right there, and he's already tries it.
Yeah, there's the touch right there. See, Paul moves over, tries to block him, and they touch. That takes his valve stem off. He now has a flat tire, quickly deflating. And look here, Lewis spun his own car trying not to get into Johnny Miller.
I'm intrigued, though, because they touched with Paul's right rear to Lewis's left front, but it was the left rear in Gentilozzi's car that went down. I wonder if it wasn't maybe some debris.
Well, or some more contact further up the road there. But in any case, Paul's car, or maybe even that was the slow leak that was starting to make his car deteriorate so bad. But in any case, the flat, he's done.
Well, that's a good point. We're going to have to try and find out exactly what happened there. But, of course, now that gives Simo, I would suspect, with all of that going on behind him, another 3-4 seconds. And he's going to be running very clear. And Gentilozzi's in.
Paul Gentilozzi is in the pit. They have had heavy damage on the left-hand side of the car, both to the right, both to the left front and left rear. The left rear is totally shredded, but that's not from a defect in the tire. Of course, the whole side of the fender there has been very heavily hit. Paul Gentilozzi is out of the pits, but my God, it was a quick stop, but of course it cost him the race, guys.
No question of that, and that points situation now is really going to struggle. And Dorsey, that's the nuances. We took a look at that graphic early in the show about who has done very well on street circuits, and Paul Gentilozzi, by a big chunk of points, seemed to be the guy. But street circuits, they have their own nuances to it. It is very, very tough indeed. So here comes Gentilozzi. He's back on track right now. And let's go back and take a look at that incident, but we're going to try and pick it up even sooner if we can out of 13. I wonder if he didn't clip the wall back there.
Watch
it
Lewis.
Didn't look like it.
Lewis is by the wall. They hit right there the first time. That wasn't hit.
And
like
this tire goes down right here, though, and it's the other tire.
Yeah, you're right. He had a flat tire already. Absolutely right. And there's the spin by Lewis.
All right, let's go on board with Paul Gentilozzi. And this is the same incident. Watch it, and we're going to let you enjoy it real time.
You know what's going to happen here. He's moving over. They just made contact. Now, left rear is cut flat. That had nothing to do with that contact with Lewis. Of course, right here, watch Lewis. He's going to end up spinning to try not to hit Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller comes out the best in that whole deal. And this makes our point situation very, very intense going into another street race next week.
And Miller was all crossed up as well because he got trapped outside of Lewis, and they both had to try and get around Gentilozzi. That was some great driving on Miller's part as well. Boy, up front, Brian Simo looking incredibly strong as a result of all that.
Brian's the man. I'll tell you, look at that. The car doesn't twitch. He's not rushing any of these passes on these back markers. He's letting the race come to him. He is totally in command of the situation right now.
So Brian Simo and the Raceworks Valvoline machine continues to lead, and now lead very comfortably indeed. Brian Simo also is going to do an awful lot for his points championship. chances. He said early, we need to win as well as be consistent. He's accomplishing both.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning, Tommy.
Amazing. That car never ages.
To help keep your car young, protect your engine with Havoline Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car.
There's something about a Wendy's Classic Double with cheese.
I'd have made the same choice.
It's hamburger bliss.
After everything we'd been through financially, we needed a fresh start.
No one would give me credit because my entire credit history was attached to my ex-husband's.
With other companies, I had to put money in a savings account before they'd even give me a credit card.
I didn't know how I was going to build good credit when I couldn't get any credit at all.
With this Visa card, all it took was a quick phone call and I was approved, and the card came within just a few days.
And Providian's the first company that didn't punish us for mistakes we've made in the past.
After I made a few payments, I got even more credit. And it was nice to go into a store without checking to see how much money was in my wallet. When I called, it wasn't just for an application. After just a few minutes, I had a $1,000 credit line. Me.
Providian treated me with respect, and I didn't have to put money in a savings account. And the fees, no problem.
It feels good to finally get the credit you deserve.
The Visa Classic Card from Providian. Apply right now over the phone and get up to $1,000 in credit. There's no savings deposit required, and you can earn even more credit after just a few payments. Get the credit you deserve and call for your Visa Classic Card now.
We are back at Grand Rapids as we are closing in on the end of this 9th round of the BF Goodrich Tires Trans Am Championship. And again, Paul Gentilosi's problems, that Johnson Controls Triple Challenge, that he looked to maybe have the only shot at the 50 grand. He now be struggling to pick up some of that, the smaller fund to anybody with the best points tally in that. And Brian Simo, who won at Detroit, if he wins here, even though he had big problems certainly in Long Beach, could be a factor there as well. But more importantly, certainly to Brian, not to take anything away from the Johnson Controls Triple Challenge, very prestigious. What he's looking at, he would like to win his first Trans Am Championship, and he may be going a long way to getting himself back in a position to do that here.
Well, the Johnson Controls Triple Challenge is money, and money is good, so he likes that. But you're right. He wants this championship, and to get it, what's he got to do? He's got to win this race. He said it at the beginning. He is winning this race quite handily. He's got to stay out of trouble, and it leads him to the next one. This is going to tighten up the top 5 considerably.
And one of the nice things for Brian, from his perspective, is with that big lead now, he can sort of backpedal a little bit and not have to push quite as hard. Here he comes. There is Simo, and he works down into turn 1. We believe 2 laps to go, so next time by, we'll have the white flag. So he really just has to hang in there and be very consistent. He's got lap traffic in front of him, but he can almost lay off a little bit, pick his spots to pass that traffic.
He can, but these guys
look
can't.
at this. And Reese now has caught Miller and bringing Neville with him.
Leighton Reese, Neville, and Miller. This is for position, and these guys, with 2 laps to go, are really going to get after it here.
And Neville, remember the points leader, he's going to want to get by Reese, who's really not a player in the top 5 in the points, but he's got to be careful, too.
Look at everybody leave. I mean, every time he comes off a corner, his car falls behind. Look at that. Look at Leighton Reese just accelerate away. Of course, in front of that's Johnny Miller, so you know he's accelerating. And Mike Lewis, he didn't need this, has had an accident, and that is all antifreeze or oil there. Oh, boy.
And that is a substantial hit. And that is in turn 1, which is the great overtaking area. You know, that'll be a yellow now. See what we can find. It was just caught. He'd already hit. And there's the damage.
That's not the problem. Of course, his race is ruined, but look at all that oil and antifreeze, and it's offline, thank heavens. He fires the engine. This is the outside of the racetrack that we're looking at, so it won't be a factor for Brian Simo. He just got the white flag. He's on his last 1.5 miles.
Brian Simo, 1 to go, and there's the traffic in front. He's got to get by it before he gets to any yellow flags. Oh, boy. He had started that pass, so he might be okay there. Oh, that one car very close to Lewis as we are on the last lap, and Simo has to just hang on. There is the, I think that's Randy Ruhlman's car. No, excuse me, that's Ed Hinchcliffe's car. And so this is Simo just has to be very careful to pick his way through traffic.
Right now, he's got it made. I mean, all he's got to do is just finish up a half a lap. But that was a tenuous moment back there with all the oil and with that debris flag you saw there, and the not passing thing. Of course, Brian Simo, that was his first time to the accident site, so they'll probably leave that go.
And of course, we'll have to see now. Oh, another bit.
And Leighton Reese has crashed. That was a battle for third place that was going on. Reese was in third place. Obviously, his day is not going to be a third place finisher any longer.
Oh, my, and what a great run Reese had. He has excelled on street courses for
look at
every
the
time
skid marks.
Oh, boy.
He had a big moment. That's from way, way, way up the racetrack from where he made the impact.
The car continues to continue on around. Meanwhile, here comes Brian Simo, last turn, and Brian Simo picks up another win from his 6th pole. And Dorsey, he controlled it start to finish.
He gets all the maximum points. That's what he had to do. He had the pole position, got his points there. He led the most laps in whatever lap, got the most points there, and won the race. That's how you win a championship. He's got 5 to go, 4 to go.
4 to go at this point, and look at this.
Look at Reese. He's got a flat tire, and he just made contact
with Ruhlman. He's just trying to get home and get something out of this.
That car, look at it. Oh, boy, look at the dog walking. It's really got the back end knocked out askew there.
But, hey, Leighton Reese, he is an old ice racer, and he has driven cars sideways for a lot of years.
Look at the rear axle sticking out the left-hand side. That car is all cockeyed right now. Look at it. See the left rear wheel?
Yeah, here he comes, and he's going to finish.
He got to finish.
And immediately slows down. What an absolute bit of determination by Leighton Reese.
And that was a big wreck.
That was.
That was there's the skid marks right there. Look how far those things go before he made the wall. That was a big, huge hit, you know, when he did that. And that's what's knocked the rear axle out of the thing. Look at a replay here. Top right
right-hand side, yeah.
Top right corner. Oh, he might have got hit there by Neville. I can't say that he did for sure, but they were right next to each other, and that spin is in a straightaway.
Second fastest part of the track, too, so any impact over there is going to be serious. So Leighton Reese, one lucky to get away with that, and then to be able to do what he could to get around to the finish. Remarkable. Looks like he may have held on for 4th. We'll confirm that. And Jen Losey may have come back for 5th. We'll sort it all out here in Grand Rapids. The Johnson Controls 100 and the Triple Challenge are done.
This man here has just heard a funny noise. Not ha-ha funny, but click-click funny. Now, he thinks he knows what's wrong, but he's not sure. It's our job at Advanced Auto Parts to help him figure out what's wrong, to get him the parts he needs, and to turn that frown upside down.
Of the Cooper Tire Invitational, a short par 3000 teeing off from DC. There's water to the right and a very tough pin placement deep in Maine. Quick recap. Our leader, nice layup. Then a great 4-iron here in Manhattan, and this tough shot over the giant green monster. Bill?
Thanks, Jim. Let's listen in.
Nice call on these Cooper tires. Good grip.
Back to you, Jim.
A quick peek to the back 9. Hole 10 starts off in Belgium.
The world is your course. Drive on.
So I always try to keep it simple, because if I forget that that person is a beginner and doesn't have the reference of all the knowledge and the years of training that I have, then you just overwhelm the person. So you always have to start with the basics, and one of the basics is a good gas, like Chevron with Techron, because that helps you run your best.
Help your car run its best. Use Chevron with Techron.
It sounds kind of simplistic, but it's really true.
Winnebago Industries, the official motorhome of TNN. Stop by your local Winnebago or Itasca dealer now and see the new models available. For more information on Winnebago Industries products, please call 1-800-643-4892. And over-the-road transit for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder Transportation Services. Going to give you one more look at what happened here with Chris Neville and Leighton Reese. You see Reese right there, and there was the contact, and he spun across coming out of turn 3. Reese got bogged down a little bit. Neville got up alongside, but Reese stayed put through 4, and then the contact at the exit. Interesting indeed. And as a result, Neville comes home in 3rd, Reese in 4th, but the winner is with John Bisignano in victory circle.
Brian Simo, congratulations on a great win. We got the reports that this was the best car you had all year long.
Yeah, I really think so. You got to really hand it to these Valvoline guys. Bruce and the Valvoline team just did an awesome job of putting this car together. My only complaint is my drink bottle ran out.
Well, he can take care of that, guys. In Vancouver, this is just what they wanted. The car's in good shape, and he is a winner.
In good shape indeed, and he looked so comfortable throughout that. A dominant run, no question, for Brian Simo. So an awesome job. Let's take a look at our unofficial top 10. Simo, Miller, Neville, and Reese. There you go. That was that finishing order. Neville actually doing what he had to do points-wise. Gentilozzi is going to improve a little bit as well. Simon Gregg, another awesome drive over Alexander Lewis, Schaefer, and Claudio Bertin. Let's take a look now at our point situation. After the 9th of the 13 races, Neville leads, but only by 2 over Simo, and he's got an 8-point lead over Gentilozzi, then Miller, and Lewis. This points battle refuses to open up at all. Very, very close indeed. So great job there. Well, we want to remind you, up next is the 10th round from Vancouver, British Columbia. It will be next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Please join us. For Dorsey Schrader, for John Bisignano, for Connie Willis, I'm Greg Kramer. Thanks so much for joining us here on TNN. We look forward to seeing you next time for more Trans Am.